Best of r/entitled parents episode 173. Subscribe for Reddit videos daily. After being scarred by my internship, I finally have the space to think about it and remembered my fav story. Obligatory sorry for mobile spelling. Cast. Me. Poor graduate school intern ED. Entitled Rich Dad EK. College junior boss. My supervisor. I did my internship in Greek life at a very rich school. I ran the move-out process for our chapter houses and we had informed the students since February what the May date for move-out was. They could apply for extensions until about Apt. 20th and most were accepted with a fee and accepted until the 27th with a late fee and a damage responsibility waiver for all extensions. Enter EK. We have a lot of EKs at the school, but this EK decides to apply the 1st of May and asks for a day extension because he didn't start packing until a few days before finals. When he is summarily rejected for being past even the late deadline, he calls the office screaming about how it isn't fair and how he obviously was studying for finals, so why should he pack? When that didn't work, he dropped by the office and was rejected again by me again for the same reason. He let me know in the most snotty Draco Malfoy tone I had heard yet. I understand that there is nothing that I can do. My father will be giving you a call. Sure enough, about an hour later, ED calls. ED. Hello, is this Opie? Me. Yes, this is she. ED. Yes, I heard from my son that he would not be granted a move-out extension. Me. Yes. Unfortunately, he applied after the date and there are no other people approved for an extension in his house, so it was denied for safety purposes. An aside, there has been a tradition that seniors would try and coerce people with extensions to let them into the house after closing to party, and the seniors often trash the house, leaving thousands of $ in damages. ED's still a nice voice. Well, I just don't think that that's acceptable to us. I am concerned for his mental health while studying at prestigious institution, and he should not be packing during finals. Me, sir. All students were reminded in February and April about move-out dates, and all move-out dates have been posted since last August. ED, no. You don't understand that you are causing him mental distress. You will give him an extension. This is absolutely unacceptable. We do not pay thousands to go to this school for you to have him fail because of some stupid policy. Me, I am sorry you feel that way, sir, but we again have reminded students several times about the extension application and unfortunately, he did not apply on time. ED, where is your supervisor? I demand to speak with him. Well, my supervisor was in a meeting. I told him so. He flips out more and I hope my boss backs me up. He doesn't. The kid gets his extension. Why? Because ED is friends with a board member and my boss doesn't want it escalated. I hate rich schools. Thank you. Next. Hey everyone. First of all, I hope you have a nice day despite being quarantined. TL. Doctor at the end of the story. So I should start with telling you that I live in Hungary, so my English may not be accurate sometimes and the law works a bit different here, but nothing special. When this whole thing happened I studied in the Calvinist primary school. Nothing extra, but as I was raised and educated in a religious spirit, I had the chance to visit many people who needed special treatment such as blind and deaf, mentally retarded and intellectually disabled kids. So when I was about 10, our class had an invitation to the special school of the town, where they treat children with additional needs. We were accompanied by a teacher, entitled Mother, EM, but actually she is an entitled teacher as well, whose daughter, entitled Daughter, ED, was attending the same class as I did. EM came with us, because the head teacher, who normally would have come with us, was ill. EM never really liked me and I could tell that by the first sight. Mostly I was surrounded with my mates as we walked to the and talking about cool things like Bakugan. ED kept on telling us how stupid we were, playing with Nintendo, watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And we would not be ever as successful as Her Majesty. After some time we just ignored her, which made her usually very upset as she could not get enough attention. So EM just simply isolated me and James, Jacob in Hungarian, from the group and forced us to walk just behind her, assuring we didn't harass others. Later we finally arrived and we were instantly told not to make any loud noise or sudden movement when talking to the kids there, as we can frighten them. Spoiler, our story contains two people who forgot this. We formed little groups to join the activities with the kids there, such as gingerbread making, some sport activities and handcrafting Christmas presents. It was December. I loved making gingerbread together with my grandma, so I really wanted to get in that group, and actually I was so happy that I was the last to fit in. Guess who went in? That's right, ED, and as EM spotted me and this happened. Me, obviously me. T, special education teacher. EM, sweetie, I'm pretty sure we will find someone who can go somewhere else. Thank you. Next. Okay, when I was a kid I had problems with smelly feet and bad breath. Neither seemed to get better through teeth brushing and bathing, so my mom started a series of smell-related nicknames she just loved to use on me. The one she used the most that I also couldn't stand the most was Stinky. Anytime she referred to me as Stinky my blood boiled. I hated it so much that I even stopped doing my impression of Bugs Bunny's "Ain't I a Stinker" line because my mom always took it as a free pass to use the nickname. I still can't use that Bugs Bunny line for fear my mom will try and call me Stinky again. My mom also thought it funny to occasionally blame bad odors on me as a joke during that period of my childhood. Once with a skunk even. I was 10 and we were in the car. We passed a dead skunk on the road and the smell was instantly in the car. And my mom thought it funny to look at me and crinkle her nose like I did it. Well, I laid into her hard. So much so I'm surprised I didn't get in trouble. Eventually my mom let up on that horrid nickname after the 90s. But she still kept trying to bring it back here and there. She'd always do it passively, like she was hoping I'd just either not notice or just let her and roll with it. But I never did. That nickname became my complete and utter sore spot to the point I was instantly furious anytime the word even left her mouth. Fast forward to my mid-20s. My mom was still trying to bring that nickname back. She tried using the logic that my sister didn't mind being called her terrible nickname. And my sister verbally backed her up along with a look like she was trying to say, do just let her have her way and deal with it. But I didn't relent. Instead I doubled down and told them both I don't care who doesn't mind what. I can't stand to be called Stinky, and as an adult I am entitled to the right not to be called that if I so chose. It's been over 8 years since my mom last used that nickname. But I can tell she misses using it a lot because she was very depressed about it the last time I shut her down when she tried to use it. What I can't fathom is why she was so damn hung up on that stupid nickname to begin with. Especially since it was a really bad sore spot for me. She saw it as a term of endearment. I saw it as being bullied. I mean, when someone has a sore spot like that, you don't poke and prod at it. You leave it alone and let it heal. That's something she never did. And if she ever uses that nickname again, be it now or 30 years from now, it's so reflexive that I'll likely still lay into her like the last time she did it was yesterday, and she knows it. Thank you. Next. On mobile. English is not my first language. Other excuses: I was drunk so I do not recollect the conversation fully. Some background. I hail from India and a significant part of the population is vegetarian. This incident happened the night before my brother's engagement at his own party. The night before his engagement my brother hosted a dinner party for our family and the brides. It was an important night for me as well as it was my birthday, so two birds one stone. As the party got started I was receiving guests at the lobby of the hotel this party was being hosted at. Enter the focus of my post tonight and my previous posts. Entitled aunt who was with her entitled daughter. They were all dressed up and asked me to guide them to the venue even though they knew I had to host more important people. Me being the nice guy I am do. After a while I go sit at the groom's and bride's table. The food was a la carte which in hindsight based on this incident was a mistake. EA was the most religious specimen at the party and her daughter had suddenly decided she wanted to be vegetarian. She came and sat at the table with the new couple and me. I and my brother, the groom, were just about to order some nice non-vegetarian dishes and a drink when ED squeals at me and the waiter, poor him, and starts screaming at me about how I am doing something unforgivable in God's view and some other religious nonsense about the health of the bride and groom and whatever. I tell her to go away or face the wrath of my uncle who is much more liberal and nice, who himself was enjoying a bacon starter. She gets up and disappears for what I thought was the end of this idiocy. Enter EP. EP comes to the table and starts lecturing me and the groom about tradition and how what I was doing was wrong and that I will go to hell and other BS. My brother called over my uncle and he defused it the best way he could. All our guests, which included the bride's guests, could see this unfolding at our table and I thanked my uncle. The bride started crying. My mom came over to the table and dragged her sister, away. I thought this would ruin their night and the next day, so I arranged for something. I and my South African roommate, bless her heart, decided to go to the person who helped me and my brother plan this event and asked if candlelight dinner could be arranged on short notice. To our surprise, he said yes. It was surprising because this restaurant at this hotel has a 2-month waiting list for candlelight, as you get the helipad to yourself and your date. I end up telling my dad and with his permission drag away the groom from his own party to a beautiful dinner in the moonlight with the nicest food I could think of. My roommate did the same to the bride and we ended up on that helipad with the couple because the bride, now my sister-in-law, asked us to out of pity, I assume because we hadn't had anything to eat. We ended up partying till 1 AM. Throughout the engagement in the morning I was laughing and quite hungover and loved the fact that an encounter with an EP caused some good. My brother and sister-in-law still kid about this every time we meet. Thank you. Next. Hey guys, this is my first post here on mobile, so sorry for any errors. This happened to me BTW. Backstory: I have been vegetarian since birth. I never ate egg or fish. Both my parents have been fine with this and don't care. My dad eats meat and my sis eats eggs. My mom was vegetarian like me but recently started eating fish and eggs. So my mom usually has these tantrum fits and I'm sad to say she is a Karen. She is super oppressive and everyone in my house is afraid of her, but she can be really loving at times and I love her a lot. She is my mother. Anyways, she is a nurse and her body hurts a lot and she recently got these bovine pills which have cow cartilage in them and started lecturing me out of nowhere about how it's okay if she eats it. I have no problem with people who eat meat. My dad eats meat and I love him and so do most of my friends, but anyways, I guess she was trying to reconcile herself. Then a few days ago she brought home a bunch of baked goods with egg in them and was like, oh so good, here I got you treats. I go, Mom, you know I don't eat egg, it's okay you eat them. She then has a huge rage fit even though she literally know I don't eat egg. About what an ungrateful shit you I am. I'm a soft spoken kid so I just cry in the corner while my dad, who feels sorry for me, tries to calm my mom. So after this incident she treated me rudely the whole day and screamed for no reason at me. The next day she makes egg curry for dinner, which, well, don't you know it has egg. Once again there is a fit over me not eating and she hits me in my arm with a metal pan brushing me. She has hit me so many times before, several times causing scaring and brushing. Anyways, I go to sleep empty stomach. A few days later and she's normal and makes some pancakes for me. She is a good at decorating them. Seriously. I once again politely declined knowing I'm in for hell and she starts crying like I just committed a mass shooting and that I was a disgrace. I just cried out in my room. Anyway, later that day I was playing on my PS4. BTW, she set her hours time limit on it long. I'm 15 and I legit worked at ANW to get it, lol. Anyway, she comes in and pours water on my head and laughs when I get up surprised. Keep in mind I still thought she was pissed about the egg. This was a few hours later and I ask why she did that. She say, oh, her hair was up, and at this point I just break down and start crying and she called me a gay ass for doing so. I'm straight and I don't hate gay people, just clarifying. I don't think my mom does either, hopefully. And way she gets pissed about it. And yeah. Anyways, that my life, it's been happening since I was born. Some wacky crap in my life that always f up my life in some way. Peace. Edit. Thanks for the support guys, and I know the grammar is bad, I'll format better next time. I wrote this in a hurry in mobile. Anyway, thanks so much for the support. It can be pretty scary sometimes but I always have some to help me out. Just needed a place to vent. BTW, I was born in India and live in Canada as a citizen. So yeah, Asian parents. Thank you. Next. Alright, I posted a story about how EA demanded my masks before going into crunch mode and designing a game. On Roblox to be exact. Today, I went to check my comments and respond to them. A few minutes before I responded, EA broke into my house. Before the story starts, let me introduce the cast. Poker and Pokey, two brave doggos. Me, I.D.O.F. Friend who lives with me. EA, the EM, and basically a Karen, but her name is Carol, but a same thing. EB, Karen V2, EB2, Karen V1, 5. So this morning after going on Reddit, I hear my door clicking. Knowing that shit got real, I went down and who do I see? 3 Karens. Upon seeing them this conversation ensues. Me. Get out of my house. EA. No. I am here to get the masks that my family and I rightfully deserve. EB. Yay dickhead. Hand over the masks. EB1. Demonic screeching. I was chuckling to myself as I already distributed the masks among my father's side of my family, but why not continue for a story for this community? EA. WA layaway. It's a Hokkien swear word I don't know the meaning of cause I'm Chinese, not Hokkien. In Mandarin Godila, unknown phrases are Singlish. Please don't ask in the comments. I am going to take them anyways. Unknown to her, my dogs were pouncing down the stairs ready to obey my commands. EB. Tell us where the masks are, or else I am going to tell your dad. EB1. Hand over the masks. By this point, Poker and Pokey have arrived, and upon seeing the saints, the Karens backed off. Me. Sick them. No point writing the next few lines as they were just screeching in a demonic voice and running their asses as my doggers chomped on their asses. After they sped off into the distance, my brave little ones came back. You better believe I gave them belly rubs and a delicious lunch. So this is what happened today, I guess. End. Please do not ask for photos. They are camera shy, IDKY, but they are just scared of cameras. Thank you. Next. First of all, I'm on mobile, so I apologize for any errors. I want to provide some backstory before I get into it. I am a teenager and lived primarily with my mother, since my parents are divorced. I have always had a good relationship with my mom, but as I've been getting older, she thinks I'm tougher and can handle more, so she has started taking all of her emotional baggage out on me and claiming that I don't do enough to support her, which isn't at all true. Whenever we get in a disagreement, she can never accept that she is wrong and find some fault of mine to spin the argument in her favor. We always get over it, but I'm starting to get fed up. Recently, she has been griping about how I don't love any of our pets and only care about myself, which made me upset because I care for our animals just as much as she does, if not more, and always try to help other people. One night about a month ago, she came into my room yelling at me about how I don't spend enough time with her and would be better off living with my dad. Me. Mom, please try to calm down. You know that's not true and I would never just leave you here. Mom. Oh, sure. You live under my roof and because of that you aren't ever allowed to stop helping me unless I say so from now on. Me. Mom, I already do a lot for you and I don't mind helping out more, but not letting me have any time to myself unless you approve I feel is a bit unreasonable. Mom, don't talk to me that way. You're grounded for the rest of the month. Give me all of your devices now. Me. Okay, give me a second to gather them. Mom, hurry up. You're taking too long. Me. I want to yell at her, but I also don't want it to blow up into a huge fight. Please give me a minute, Mom. You're the one who told me to get all of them, so it's going to take me a moment. Mom, how dare you speak that way to your own mother? I raised you by myself. Not true, as my dad has always been a huge part of my life, and I'm entitled to anything you own. Me. Okay, I have everything. Hands are all of them. Mom, no. Me. What do you mean no? Mom, you need to put them all in my closet now. Me. I am upset because her room is on the opposite side of the house. Do you think you could help me at all? It's a lot to carry. Mom. Scoff, absolutely not. This is your punishment and I don't have to help you with anything. Me. I sigh a little and start moving them all into her closet. After I finish, I try to go to my room and go to sleep as it is kind of late. Mom. Oh number. I'm not done with you. Me. Okay. What do you want to talk about? Mom, don't play dumb with me. You don't care about anyone except yourself. If you don't apologize to me right now, I'm keeping all of your screens for 3 months. Me. Okay, Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, no you're not. Me. You wanted me to apologize. What else do you want from me? Mom, shut up. You don't even care about your grandparents. Like I said, when an argument isn't going her way, she changes the subject to something that makes you feel bad. Me. Don't bring them into this. That's not what we're talking about. Mom. Well, it is now. You can go right ahead and put on a fake smile for all of them because I know you hate every single one. I could never hate my grandparents. They have done tons for me and I feel nothing but love towards them. I never raise my voice at my mom because I have always been scared that she'll disown me or send me to my dad's forever. Don't get me wrong, I love my dad, but the thought of not seeing my mom, her house, or my dogs ever again makes me tear up, and I can never imagine it happening. This time though I had had enough and decided to stand up for myself. Me, that's it. I'm tired of you telling me that I don't care about anyone. How dare you stand here and accuse me of hating my grandparents when all I have done throughout my entire life is love them with all of my heart. Can you stop to think for a second about how you're affecting me and everyone else you do this to? Mom, silence. I go to my room and turn out the lights to go to bed. About 5 minutes later she storms in. Mom, pack your bags. You're leaving. Me, excuse me? Mom, you heard me. You have half an hour to get all of your shit out of my house. I never want to see you again. Me, Mom, be reasonable. I'm sorry I raised my voice at you. Please don't make me leave. Mom walks away and slams my door. I'm in tears and stuffing all of my clothes and other items into a couple duffel bags and pillowcases. Mom walks in again. Mom, what are you doing? Me, you told me to pack, so I'm packing. She gives me a look that I can only describe as accusatory disgust and walks away. I keep packing and move everything out to the garage. She comes in again and throws all of my electronics against the floor. I run and pick them up to check if she broke them. Thankfully she didn't. Me, Mom, I paid for most of those with my own money. You shouldn't be throwing them on the floor like that. She gives the same expression again. Mom, how dare you try to tell me what I can and can't do. You'd better hurry up because I'm selling anything you haven't packed once your father gets here. I'm still crying my eyes out and continue packing. I have everything packed and in the garage, and my dad pulls up shortly after. He runs over to me to make sure that I'm okay. Mom starts throwing boxes of snacks and other food out the garage door towards me. Mom, I don't need these anymore. You take them. You've disappointed me and I never want to see you again. I'm taking the dogs to a shelter and selling the house. Me, Mom, please. I don't want any of this. Mom, you did this. All of this is your fault. That's about where I have to end it. I packed up all of my stuff in my dad's car and drove off. I haven't seen her for over a month but have maintained some contact. If anyone is wondering, no, I wasn't physically hurt and neither was she. I'm not necessarily sure if this falls under the category of entitled, but I wanted to share this story and didn't know where else to put it.